Pregame, Alex, Mario.
I'm Mr. Mello on Twitter. If you don't know me, you should know me.
We are going to just come out, balls blazing, guns blazing, emotions out, what we feel about it. Is Seferovic dating like Rui Vitoria's like sister or something?
I don't know, but that's a perfect way to start the show because we're live. All right, fuck it, it's live. Yeah, baby.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us. Got that little intro kicked up. It's the funniest thing ever.
In the intro, it was the most epic way to start a podcast that day. Is Savannah fucking Rui Vitoria's sister? Yeah, I think so, Jeff. I don't know.
Oh man, that's a good question for today. Also, man, the guy got playing time again.
Yeah, we got 94 minutes, baby. Yeah. 92 minutes.
Thank God he saved some time for Castillo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was a sloppy second.
Quality minutes. Yeah,
Man, that is some weak sloppy seconds. Oh my God! So,
oh my gosh,
for tonight's edition, it's going to be a little bit comical, but I got myself Jeff, Alex, Dylan. They all saw the game tonight. Myself, I got stuck at work, so I only saw the very tail end of it. So I'm going to act more as a questionnaire on this edition here. But yeah, man, we went out to the Taca de Portugal up north, Montalegre. In terms of a club, I don't know if for anyone that knows, I have a big scarf collection of the clubs I visited in Portugal that I've gone over the years. I'm up to around 40 teams. You can see there's a big wall here. It just keeps going, circling around the entire place, first division, second division, third division, fourth division. Montalegre's not on my wall. I have yet to go up there. They are not a club that I had. It's now on my hit list because clearly these guys, man, forget Sporting Rio Ave being like an easy battle. Montalegre is where it's at for a tough battle.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, no joke though. No joke. Speaking of Montalegre, that guy Zach, whoever that kid is, number 30 on I'm serious. That kid, I was like, all right, fuck it. If I ain't gonna watch nobody on Benfica play well, I'm gonna watch this kid. That kid was pretty fun to watch today, man.
What was he?
In my opinion.
Was he the kid that was?
He was a left wing. He was the kid that took Alpha Semedo all the way and gave him everything he could handle. That was the kid.
But he's the guy. Is he the guy that owns a shoe shop full time and plays soccer, or is that?
I don't know that Al Bundy plays for Montalegre. I don't know.
There is actually a guy that played today that owns a shoe shop that embarrassed us.
There's a guy that coached today that owns a shoe shop, Mario. His name is Rui Vitória.
I'm pretty sure he buys the shoes from that guy, or he's the assistant to the manager of the shoe shop.
Yeah, he's a sapateiro.
Oh, caralho. All right, guys, just to kick it off. Okay, so initial thoughts on, let's go with the starting 11 between the three of you. What do you guys think of the starting 11 that we brought out?
Yes, so I'll read it out right now. Corsia, Conti, Jardel, Yuri Ribeiro, the back four, Sivar in goal, sorry. Alpha Samid, Gabriel Korovinovic in the middle, Seferovic up top, and Zivko and João Felix on the right and left wings, respectively. I'll start off with Jeff, as he's our honorable guest. What'd you think of the 11 going into this game, bro?
Thank you guys for having me on again. I thought when I saw the 11, I was pretty excited to see, because it's always good to see the guys who don't get as much minutes to get them to have a run. I find it a little bit difficult with some of these players, though, because it's like they're given an opportunity to get a run on the field, and I don't see them, having the same fire, right? To prove what they've got. Like, to be honest, like, I know we harp on Rui Vitória all the time, but it starts with the players, and then Rui Vitória is there to like give them a kick in the ass as well. But it seems like some of the players, it doesn't seem like they're not taking full advantage of their actual chances that they're being given, from what I see. Especially in a game today, it seems like that Montalegre team was really, really giving it all they got, and our players were strolling in like it was going to be an easy win, like almost right from the get-go. So it was good to see some guys get some minutes. Absolutely killed me that I wanted to see Ferreira actually get a chance again, or even Castillo up top. I see it absolutely pointless that Seferovic gets a start in a game like this. I mean, he's been getting all the minutes all the time, most games. So it would have been good to see those guys get a run. I mean, even there was a point in the game where you just see Ferreira just sitting there on the bench, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like, why is he not out there? Give this guy a chance. Like, we pay him such a huge salary. Just let him have a run. Like, he has potential. Like, at the beginning of the season, he maybe, he had a couple of games, but it was just like a tough run for him, and give him a chance.
Yeah, or else why sign him, right, Jeff?
Yeah, why even sign the guy?
Like right there on the bench between Castillo and Ferreira, we have I think $5 million a year of salary.
Yeah,
I think
I thought it was $3 million each.
Yeah, rather it's like 2.53 million. So yeah,
that million makes a difference.
Yeah, so between 5 to 6, let's just say I bet the entire Montalegre starting 11 in total salary was under $1 million.
Yeah, way under 200,000, bro. That's a third division team.
Yeah, it might be nothing, man. You got people working part-time jobs. Some guys might be making $10,000 on that team right now. Like that is.
How much though? And I'm not defending Montalegre, I'm not defending Benfica's performance, but how much do we give to a team that small who gets to play a team this big? Right, like how much do you
portion? Right, it's the ticket sales.
It's tickets, and not only that, but like pride, right? You're a man, right? Like they're
this right here for a team, any player on a third division club in Portugal, especially if they're a younger player, just a half decent showing could almost guarantee you a ticket to play at a second division club.
Like I said, the kid Zach, somebody better had watched that kid.
Yeah, a really good showing might get you to a first division club. Hey, remember Bebe? Bebe went from a third division club, I think it was, to Vitória Guimarães. For a month.
Look how bad.
It's a little different though, because he already had a little pedigree elsewhere, right? If I'm not mistaken, right, in the Premier League, he had already had a little hype.
No. Before he got there.
Before he got there, he was, I think, in the third division, second or third division. Had a couple outstanding games. Guimarães was going to jump on him. They paid like next nothing to him, and then they flipped him to United very quickly within a month.
Yeah,
it made a quick buck, right? But at the same time, for these guys, one good choice. I believe it. I believe guys are going to fight hard. They're going to play like no tomorrow. I think the turf, it looked like garbage. It looked like World War II turf. It
was terrible.
It wasn't as small as I thought it initially would be. Like the one, like Maritimo's pitch looked way smaller on television than Montalegre's. That was just me.
It could have been. I think the cameras were way closer to the pitch because it's just a small ground. Like it's a very. I think here, like you can go locally, whether you're in Canada, the U.S., or you can go to local soccer parks or football pitches, and probably have more seating. Like I think the seating capacity is like 2,000. They added a few more seats. Like
I'll say that.
I heard them announce 5,000 today.
I think they added extra bleachers or something.
I heard the fans though. I did hear them fans during the match. That was cool.
I think the camera was a bit closer. It was piss raining. It was poor conditions, and I agree with Jeff. I having not seen the game myself, but I think just a recent trend with other games is that I don't think the players are playing with all their heart. Dylan and Alex, what do you guys think about like when you watch the play? Did it feel like they're giving it their all?
Real quick, Dylan, because I want you to start. I want you to go, and I want to pose this question really quick. As a Benfica fan, right? Waiting for the starting 11 sometimes, isn't that already like aren't we already setting ourselves up for failure almost? Because each Benfica fan, right, we all want our guys to play, the guys that we think individually. Me, myself, Mario might have a different guy playing the 8 than I would, or vice versa. But don't you think we psych ourselves up a little bit and then just set ourselves up for failure when we see these? Honestly, when we see these Gabriels, and you guys know how I feel about this, but when I see Gabriel on the pitch, I'm like deflated. Like I'm already mad before the game even starts. You know what I mean? Before the match even starts, I'm already pissed off.
I actually, when it comes to like a Taca game on a third division side or a Taca de Liga or like these small games, which this is going to sound horrible, almost like guaranteed to win regardless of what we do. I don't mind taking players that either are playing like Ferreira. I wouldn't mind seeing him. I wouldn't mind taking players that are right now in the gutter, like even Gabriel.
That's my point, though. No, this is
no, but I'm just saying I wouldn't mind like I don't mind experimenting with the squad because we should hands down, no matter what we put out there, what the depth we have. Because our B team, remember, B team is slaughtering teams in the second division.
But
we got a bunch of kids.
But you got kids already. We're already training with the A team. Like what? Dylan, go ahead. I wanted to.
You didn't just lose the train of thought there, did you?
But don't you think that? Like I feel that I do that to myself. Like I'm already. I said
I'm always expecting
what's the lineup?
to come out.
No. There's guys I want to see. Like I would love to have seen like a great time for Jota.
Sure.
But above Jota, I'd play Willock, man.
There we go. That's why I asked that question though, because we all as fans had
someone
that in mind. We hear reports of Willock and Ferreira, excuse me, and Jota. They get A team practice. For what? For what if you're not going to do anything with them?
Not even on the bench. I don't think we have
even on the right. They're not even on the bench.
We didn't have one kid from the B team on the bench for a game where we could have actually maybe played a few of them.
So what do you think, Dylan? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. According to your question, what I think?
Yeah, I mean the starting lineup, and then what you know? What I mean, what I pose for sure.
Yeah, I think a game like this. I mean, you have Ruben Diaz on the bench. You have Samaris who you know is not going to play. Jetson Fernandes. Those guys shouldn't be playing because you know they're going to get minutes. You got guys on the B team that should be getting minutes. You got Keaton Parts, an example. Willock is an example. Jota, Ferro. You have guys that actually need these minutes against these shit sides that you know they're going to do well. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just for me, it's just a big joke because the issue is there. We all see it. No one's blind to it. So you can't lose too much time arguing on it because it's pointless. You know what Rui Vitória is going to bring up on any other game. You know what I mean? So, you know.
So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you guys all of this because I mentioned this in the WhatsApp group. And look, I've been gone for a while, so I got all this shit pent up. So I apologize if I keep going on.
Welcome back,
right?
brother. Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm back. What is the incentive for these guys? Right? You play a Taça game if you're Alpha Semedo, if you're Krovinovic. What is the incentive to go out there and put 90 minutes hard-fought game if no matter what you do in that match isn't going to buy you minutes in a game that actually counts? Right? João Felix could have scored 2 goals today. He wouldn't have started the next match. Krovinovic could have had 2 assists, 2 goals. He wouldn't have started over Pizzi. Like, what is the incentive? What does Rui Vitória give? What is the incentive for these guys to play well for the badge?
Jeff,
if they're not getting, if the results that they do in the heart and the sweat and the blood and the tears that they put on this pitch isn't being rewarded in Liga NOS matches.
They're only fighting for sub minutes, to be honest. That's all they're fighting for. They're fighting for the 20 minutes a game, 15 minutes a game. I personally think Alpha had a tremendous game today. Like
man of the match.
He started off bad.
Yeah.
Passes, but that's the type of player who needs a couple more minutes. But like, what's the incentive for these players, guys?
It's January. A transfer out of this fucking club. To be honest, I would want that. That's what I'm fighting for. This club honestly looks like it's not going anywhere.
So you walk around at the 55th minute, like you walk to the ball, like
that's what our team was doing. They were walking.
That's what I mean. I'm not talking about Montalegre. Montalegre, as a matter of fact, they hustled. I mean,
they have every reason to hustle. They have every reason.
Absolutely. But what's our reason, fellas? What's our reason to hustle?
There's tons of reasons for our guys to be hustling, but they're just not doing it. Honestly,
to you as a fan, Mario, to you as a fan, there's a ton of reasons. But if you're a player, what are you playing for?
As a player, you should be playing to earn your spot. You should be playing like you look at I don't know, man. It's hard.
3 points. You're there to earn your 3 point. You're there to continue up into the next round of the competition. That's what you're fighting for. And you're trying to. You as a player should be fighting for spots on the 18. I mean, on the Primera Liga 11, like every week. That's what you're fighting for. That's the end goal. Does it look like our players want that? Half the time, not really.
Yeah. Hey, quick question. Because again, I didn't see the game. I only saw the tail end of it. And M. Smith asked this question actually in the chat group. Our fullbacks, both of them. How do you guys think they did? We finally actually benched Almeida for a game.
I thought Corchia did. He did well. He did decent. I mean, nothing to stand out tremendously. I mean, anything is better than Almeida now at this very moment. I think we should give him a run in like a league game just to see how he's done because I really don't even think he's gotten minutes in a league match as of yet. Really,
has-
like he
No, he
hasn't.
hasn't.
No,
I think
he
he had
hasn't.
a Taça Portugal.
It's just been Taça for him.
Yeah.
So give him just a run and just see where it goes from there. Conte had, some good chances offensively there, but I mean, other than that, it just seems that I don't know. I just think with the opposition today, they were just too going with the motions here. So like they just gotta show more hunger, more like moving the ball quicker. Like you see even some of the players, like sometimes even Ruben Dias, he's the one who's like telling those guys like move the ball quicker, move the ball out of the back faster. It's just such a slow buildup with these guys, right?
I
Like
thought
move the ball.
I thought Yuri Beidou started off kind of shitty. I was not
Yeah.
impressed at all. But I think as the game went on, I think he grew a little bit more. He was
Yeah.
getting a little bit more comfortable on the pitch. So it was good to see that, he's a Portuguese kid. So you always want to see those
Yeah.
guys do well. I thought there could have been a
He was
lot
great
more.
too last year. Dylan with Rio Ave. He was pretty goddamn
No,
good.
he was
Yeah.
We were all excited for him to come back.
I was, but then I watched the first half and I wasn't very impressed. But I think as the game grew a little bit, he started to feel a little bit more comfortable in his position. But like you said, man, you guys seem sloppy and lazy on the field. Like something's missing.
There's also
Let me-
eight guys with
Let
no
me
minutes.
let me ask Jeff and Mario this question
Yeah.
because they have kids, right? And we always shit on Rui Vitoria, and it's
Yeah.
time for me to shit on a player or two, right?
Yeah.
Just be so when you tell your kids something and they don't listen, does that make you a bad parent?
Makes it a piss off parent.
Dalmo Chapada, Dalmo Chapada.
No,
I
but
don't-
that's not my question. That's not my question, though, Mario. Does it make you a bad parent because you told your kids something and they didn't listen to you?
No, it only makes you a bad parent. It's echoing.
If you keep letting them get away with it,
If you keep letting them get away with it,
Yeah.
for sure.
I
Like
agree.
I don't let my kid get away with that the second time, right?
Yeah, but then here's the thing. You play a bad game, right? And we all know the potential. You bench him. How many times are you going to bench him? Then he doesn't get a chance to shine, right?
But if you never do that, though, right? If you never do that, Rui Vitoria doesn't do that.
So
So
then
you asked
why
me
does
last
Gabriel play? Tell me why Gabriel. I
agree, but
like
But
you,
I wanted to
what
talk.
is
I wanted to
Gabriel-
answer the question real quick about our left backs because that goes into what I was saying earlier. What's the incentive for Corchia to play well for us when he's going back to his parent team in January?
No, he's just looking for minutes to get under his legs because that's all he can go for right now. He's coming back from injury. He's just trying to get minutes.
Right.
No, I
Stay in
think
form.
there's an incentive for any player to play. I just don't feel like there's an urgency. It's not just this game. If you look at the past several games, there's no fire in these players. There's no desire
Okay,
to
but
push.
this game in specific because it's a third division side.
You could look at like the past Freire game. You can look at like a couple.
I don't want to talk about second division. I want to talk about a third division team.
I know. I'm
players
just
walking in the
saying,
middle?
guys. Like, I really don't think there's any passion or drive to do well. I think these guys feel that maybe this in the bag. We're gonna get the win. And even if we don't get the win, like the honest truth is, if they don't get the win, is there a consequence?
No,
None.
money's still going in the bank.
Yeah. Are they gonna still play the following week? Is Luis Vieira gonna do anything about it? It doesn't feel like there's any pressure right now. Like it doesn't feel like. I know there's some talk that happened recently in the past several weeks with Luis Vieira and Rui Vitoria, but at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like these guys are itching to come out here and fight like a dog, right? Like I've seen guys that we've seen it in the past. We've seen it under Rui Vitoria. We've seen it under different managers. We've seen times when players are playing, right?
That's always what separated Benfica, and I don't care what anybody says, or any Porto fan, any sporting. That's always what separated Benfica from the rest of the teams in Portugal. Was that the players that came to Benfica played for the badge first, no matter what. Gaetan, Di Maria, these guys, even guys like Raul Jimenez, who was relegated to the bench for so long, they all played for the badge. I think somewhere, I don't know where, I can't pinpoint an exact game or a match or a moment, but somewhere along the line, I think the pride of the badge has been lost a little bit. It doesn't feel like we impose ourselves like we are Benfica. We're going to make you feel it, right? The refs don't respect us any longer. The other teams don't respect our play any longer. Where do we lose it?
I think it's the generation, guys. I think it's the generation of players that have been coming up. I really.
But you look at guys like Jetson and Felix. I mean, these guys are hustling. Zivkovic, these guys who don't get no minutes. These guys are hustling. Guys like Jardel.
No,
and I hate to say it, Pizzi, Facia, they've become accustomed to just being the man. Salvio, When Salvio's ready to go, Salvio's playing right wing.
But can I use an example?
Yep.
In basketball, every squad has one or two veteran leaders, right? You need those guys to keep the other guys in check. I don't think Benfica has any of that. I really don't. I don't think there are players, not coaches. I don't think there are players that are motivating each other to, do better this way too. I think it's the whole captain thing, right? We're lacking veteran leaders. And don't tell me Jardel, don't tell me Feja, because those guys aren't leaders.
I think we need to make Jonas the captain, to be honest with you. He should be.
Yeah, but Jonas isn't a leader.
No, he at least when I'll give this much to Jonas. When he's playing, he's trying to push, he's trying to hustle, he's running to the fans when he scores. He's still bleeding the Benfica passion, right?
Yeah.
And what we're lacking, so that's where I agree with Jeff.
Yeah, because he came back because we bitched and moaned.
Yeah, and then also, like, you look at Luizão was the captain before. If you go back just a couple of years ago, when Samaris was still like semi-decent, he was the leader in the locker room. His days are done. Luizão was the leader in the locker room. Obviously, he's long gone. We used to have Sheo on the bench with the squad leader that's no longer near the bench, near the players. We just don't seem to have like that fire of players on the bench. And then we also got guys that I feel are complacent that have been with the club a long time. I feel like I'm not trying to be an ass to players, but I think Salvio, Almeida, heck, I'll even say Pizzi, Jardel. There's a lot of players that have been with this team for quite a bit of time that just don't seem like they have they're content, they're comfortable, they've been here a long time, they feel their positions are rock solid, that they're going to continue to get playing time, they continue to get their respect at the club, and they don't actually need to hustle or fight as hard, which that's a disappointment. I think we need leadership on the field right now. We need a proper captain. You can't just sign a captain either, to be honest, unless you bring like a legacy player, like a player that was respected at Benfica back, like we did with Rui Costa or some other guys we've done in the past. But it's a problem. It's a problem, and it's tough to fix. Because this is a morale issue. You look at whether you're talking about sports teams, military companies, heck, families, friends. Like, if everyone's morale is shot, it could take a while to get you out of that funk. It takes a collective effort to snap you out of it.
What got the morale so low? Like, what?
I think I'm gonna blame Luis Fieta. It's the morale is low because the president's content not winning, not pushing harder. Like, you look at what happened last year with the Penta year. You look at what happened this year so far. Like, you could have fired the manager a while ago. I'm not a fan of firing managers mid-season normally, but this time is definitely warranted, and or doing something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel like there's a top-down pressure, and I think leadership starts at the top. There's no pressure from the top down. Rui Vitória never struck me as like a strong manager, so there's nothing coming there. There's no one on the bench like Sheo doing it. There's no captain on the field doing it. It's just overall left the club overnight one night, and then it just never returned. And the longer it stays like this, the worse it gets. Because this eventually feeds into the younger kids, eventually feeds into other players.
Yeah. I remember when Rui Vitória even came into the squad a couple of years back. I remember seeing some interviews, not just with Rui Vitória, but like about Rui Vitória or just even other Portuguese coaches in general, where they said that some of the coaching style is leaning towards, they say that when they're training, they let the kids they let them play, and they don't yell and they don't correct during the game. It's more or less they observe, and then they not really criticize, but they let them know after the game and let the players kind of figure it out after, rather than the harping, old school, yelling type of coach.
Yeah, Rui Vitória is not fucking Phil Jackson. What the fuck?
Okay. But that's I don't know, that's what his style is, and it's crazy. You don't see him yelling at players during the game. He's more or less complaining at referees. You don't see him yelling at the players. He needs to send a fire up at this team. Like, he needs to fire these guys up.
But you can't if that's not who you are, right?
He's not that guy.
No, but
you can't learn that shit neither.
Even if he was doing it in the background, which some managers are like that. They're quiet during the game, and then afterwards, once the game is over, they analyze, break you down in the training pitch, and tell you how you screwed up. But really, look at I'm going to pick on Almeida. You pick on Almeida, you pick on some other guys who are out in the squad that they screw up and they're back on. So it doesn't matter if they got reprimanded or not; they're back playing again the next week.
That's my point of the whole night. There is no incentive for these players. There is no consequence. There is no rewards. He's got his starting 11, and now there's change, right? So he's just gonna get out. He's just removing the players who don't believe in his system, or who are probably told him that he's a piece of shit and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah,
but there's no incentive. There's no consequence.
It sounds like a game like today is a game you could have played Lemma, and he didn't go anywhere in the pitch, right? So, and that sounds like a player we're going to lose, and he was one of the best Argentinian players out of that league, right? So
he's a solid player, man.
Like Dylan asked earlier, Gabriel, who wanted this guy?
Bro, I was vouching for Ramirez at the time, bro. Now we got this punk kid who I still to figure out what his point on the club is.
I don't want to blame the guy too much because the guy did look.
But what did he do? He's not even an enforcer.
He started decent. He started decent.
I think you start decent, and then you're surrounded in a toxic environment, and then you have no leadership, and then he quickly fizzled, like every other player's fizzling right now.
I think he played well against Porto. That was the only game I saw him play well. Really,
that was the only game I saw Benfica play well.
Yeah,
that was the peak.
You know what I get from Gabriel is I think Gabriel's one of those guys who thinks he's better than he actually is. So I think Gabriel's one of those guys who thinks that he should start no matter what. Like, it's little shit to me, like the exchange between Jetson and him when Gabriel got subbed off.
Yeah, like
other players hug, you get a kiss on the cheek, all that. Right? Gabriel's a quick little high five and off to the bench he goes. Yeah. Like I don't think he's bought into this team, and I think we spent $8 million on a player who's worthless.
But then again, have we sold him an idea of the team? Right.
But that was my thing earlier. Just because you tell your kid what to do and he don't listen, don't always make you a bad parent. Maybe Ruvi Torti, like y'all said, maybe he is getting into their ass in the locker room. Maybe he is, but maybe these guys aren't who we think they are.
I got a good comment saying is Gabriel Felipe Agosto, the next one. I don't think he's good. I think Gabriel has potential. I'm going to give him a benefit of the doubt for now. I would love to.
Wild comparison.
I know that's crazy.
I don't think he's that bad, yo.
Buddy, he's a Paul Almeida. That's what he is.
Yeah, I think I'm very curious. You know what? Almost any of these players, Ferreira included, under a new manager, I'd love to see his entire squad get a fresh restart. We just don't have the opportunity right now because they're in the middle of a season. I think there's potential across the board, and it's disappointing. And maybe looking a little forward between the three of you guys, what do you think for lining up a Braga this week? What do you think the starting 11 is going to look like? How do you think Benfica is going to do? Like, we've been barely getting by with some very mediocre sides. You think we're going to pull a miracle out and just show up like we did against Porto, or do you think this is
a big test? It's probably the big. I think it's one of this so far this season. This is the second biggest test, and it's a huge test, and I think it's a huge game to see where the rest of our season is going to go. To be honest, they win this game, it's going to catapult them a little bit further. They lose this game, it'll be really bad.
RV out, and I'm going to that motherfucker's gone.
But I think the lineup, I can tell you right now, almost every Liga match that we have, you can pretty much predict the lineup every single week, for God's sake, man.
You can also predict the scoreline.
It's going to be
1-0.
It's going to be Odi. It's going to be Almeida. It's going to be Jardel. It's going to be Ruben, Grimaldo. Then you're going to have Feja, Jedson, and Pizzi. And then, well, geez, now it's going to be
and Servi. That's
no, I think
Zivko, Servi, and Jonas.
No, I honestly think that João Felix will get this. I think you'll see.
Didn't you say that's what you want and it never happens? It's exactly what's going to happen.
Yes.
It's not going to happen. It's going to be Servi.
Absolutely. But João Felix had a really good game on the ball. The thing that impresses me about this kid is frame. He looks so skinny.
Bro,
right? You can't move him off the ball,
today, bro.
You don't move him off the ball so easy like Servi. You touch Servi fucking he's off the camera.
Felix was in front of the net and shot it at the goalkeeper.
Dude, was
a wide open. My god.
No, I get it, but he shouldn't be in that.
It was the pressure, the Montalegre pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure.
Pressure from the third division. Holy fuck me! I'm gonna kill myself.
Big leagues, man. Big leagues.
No, I honestly think you're right, Dylan. You're right, like you said. But I honestly think it has to be Steve Kovic on the right and João Felix on the left in this next match. You
you think Rafa's gonna be healthy or no?
No.
They already said
Rafa's out 6 weeks.
Next.
Rafa's out 6 weeks.
6 weeks for sure. Okay, I was.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, he's not coming back till at least after January.
That's it. We're not gonna see him ever. He's over.
Yo, I agree with Peter Parker. João Felix is irritating in the sense that he plays too much street ball. It does get annoying because there's times where he can make a better pass than
He's a kid.
trying to do some stupid move.
He's got to learn. He's a kid.
But I don't like that. You want to be
I
a
think
kid
he
and play
started-
the game right. You want to play on the 18.
Yeah. He started high,
but,
and he's kind of had a decline the past couple
He's
of
had a
games.
little bit of a decline.
But at least he puts himself in a position
Yeah.
to do something in front of goal, unlike
Yeah.
everyone else on the
But
fucking
then
pitch.
so does Rafa, and Rafa scores 1 in every 7 shots.
Well, Rafa's got like 9 goals this season in the Liga, if I'm not mistaken.
Rafa
Rafa's been
has like
scoring.
20
It takes
because he
a
always
while.
puts himself in a good position.
It takes a while. I don't expect my
Anyway,
wing.
away from politics. Let's
Goals
focus on the
anyway.
game today, bro. Let's focus on the game that we saw today, man.
The game today,
Provinovic, bro. What do you think of
John's right.
Provinovic?
the game today, honestly, I think you had 8 or 9 guys who were out of form with no minutes. So it was we gotta kind of have to sit back and kind of think about that aspect of the game too. You got 8 guys or 9 guys with almost barely any minutes all season, with no form showing up into this game, playing together.
Showing up. Semedo shows up, man. Every game he
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that kid.
He's starting to be, in my opinion, this game, his vision, playing as an attacking 6 or I guess as an 8 or whatever,
Yeah.
passing the long balls and even running up to the right and left wing. I mean, dude, he's almost an undisputed starter, man.
And don't you know that he's on the pitch?
You feel
Yeah.
his
No,
presence.
you know he's there.
playing.
He's learning from Feja for sure. But
But he's adding
happening.
more. He has more to add, which is so impressive.
Feja
You know?
looks tired now.
Feja's getting old too, right? The man, he can't last at all, right? And
He's
what
playing
he
with his
does,
kids all day long, man. That's the problem.
He's
That is
getting
exhausting.
old. It's an exhausting position. It's not an easy
Yeah.
position to play.
Yeah. He needs a big game. He needs a big game like that. Like this game, you know he's going to start against Braga, and you hope that he just comes to his old self in this game, man.
Honestly, I think for him to come to his old self, if you play him and an Alpha and then Jetson, it gives him more freedom to not stress out so much on the back because you know Alpha is going to give you support because Alpha has the stamina to give you the support.
Yeah.
Right. Feja is trying to cover too much for Peasy and Jetson because he know those guys defensively aren't that great.
But with Feja and Alpha, you lose those two together on the pitch at the same time. You lose a lot of creativity there. And
No,
that
I
gives,
disagree.
No, I think you just have to.
disagree.
I think you just
No,
have to rely on
I
faith.
think Alpha brings
in
creativity,
general.
not the creativity.
No, I kind of agree. Where I'd rather either one or the other because I still like the idea of having Jetson on the field, having a Crovey or having a Pizzi, or having someone else as an attacking mid.
Yeah.
And to me, Alpha is like Feja's that old school defensive mid. We've talked about this before, and to me,
Yeah.
Alpha is more like the Matic, the
yeah.
Xavi Garcia, like some of these other.
No, he's not a Javi Garcia. No fucking way. He's like a Matic because he creates play.
Or
He's not a
or
defensive
Pogba.
mid.
I hate
He
to say it,
doesn't
but the kid reminds me of Pogba.
He plays in between a 6 and a number 10. That's his position. He's not a defender by any means. We noticed
But
that.
I think
he's not a
he
creative
could
guy.
play. I think he could play next to Feja, but you'd have to rely on Feja to be more of a field general and kind of dictate where these play, like Louis Sal used to be. You know,
And
like
I think he can do that because he has the experience to do that.
right, like Ruben Diaz's first
We haven't
season.
seen
That's a
Feja-
lot of what I remember from Louis Sal. My last memories was him really taking Ruben, like he would tell Ruben Diaz where he needs to be. He would pull him aside in the game and he would tell him, "This is where you need to be. This is where
I personally feel, man, this is my take. And we've seen Feja play a couple times with Alpha Semedo in the field. We've seen Feja.
No, you've barely seen it play, and
No,
you
but
haven't seen it now.
No, but we've seen it a couple times. We've seen Feja with Matis. Feja with another defensive type mid player typically doesn't look as good as
But
he.
Alpha's not a defensive mid player, Mario.
No,
man.
I'm saying like
Right.
Alpha will track back. I find Feja doesn't do well with someone anywhere that goes near him, which Alpha will go near his area because he's more of a box to
But
box.
Feja, Peasy, and Jetson don't do shit now as it is.
No, that's why I'm like I wouldn't mind trying Alpha over Feja. I just don't know if having both them on.
I think you
Good
would be
idea.
very surprised at what they're capable of doing.
Maybe
Or-
I think we're
Or it's
discrediting Alpha.
time to
I
give
think we're not crediting
rest.
Alpha enough as a player. And I think Alpha and Jetson together, and I've seen them play together, I think they bring creativity, a lot more creativity than what Peasy can do. Because Peasy is an absolute disaster class at the moment.
That's exactly what I was saying. I think the argument then here is not Alpha playing with Feja. I think it's actually Peasy
I don't think
Yeah.
Peasy can play on the
I think
spot right now.
Peasy needs to
He
take a
gets
seat
stopped
for a
open.
little
He
bit.
needs to sit back. We like Saturday.
Be-
He needs to sit back.
Because this is the thing, Mar, and I know you're a Peasy fan, Mario, and I get
No,
it.
no, but
I
lately,
love
no,
him.
but lately
I
he's
love
been
him. But this is
garbage.
my thing. The motto is, as Peasy goes, Benfica goes, right?
Exactly. That's
Well,
what I
if-
say so many times
Yeah,
too.
if this is how we're going, then
But we need other options. We need to figure it out because we can't just rely on a man that can't make a fucking pass for his life in the past 7 games. Sporting went to a new coach. In 7 games, they scored 30 fucking goals.
Yeah, no, it's I think no one's disagreeing with changing the manager. It's just it's right now it all goes
But
down
we
to
need options.
Schmidt.
We changed the team up. We need different options. But we can't rely on the same guys. It's not working. There's nothing there, man.
But you know, again, it's not to take away from this game, but looking ahead to Braga, I think that's where Braga is so critical right now. Either
I'm so curious to know what's going to happen in that game.
like I want us to win. I hope we pull something off, and maybe we use this as a kind of a plank to jump up and go further up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, man, if we lose, and we could lose badly, that could be the wheels coming off the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's going to be another RV out train guaranteed if that happens.
this is
On
what's
my life.
crazy. This is what's crazy, fellas. We're 4 points back. 4. But it feels like 8.
Dude, it feels like we're in last
Right?
place.
No, I'm fucking
last
serious.
No,
place.
it's because the narrow wins we're getting against such weak sides, like, and the fact that also, like, really after that Porto game, we lost against Belenich, we lost against Morinich, we barely won against Pash Ferreira, we barely won against Maritimo, which is near the relegation zone, we barely won against, no, I don't want to say barely, but it was a narrow 1-0 win today from the sounds of it. We're not like we're having a hard time with teams that we should not be having a hard time in. Every season, I guarantee every season for Porto, for Sporting, for Benfica, they're going to have an extremely ugly game against a small side. That is a guarantee.
Of course.
No doubt.
But having like 5, 6, 7 games where you're narrowly winning or you're losing or you're dropping points where you shouldn't be, it's just too many games, too much of that happening. Unfortunately, we kind of went on this streak where we've been facing easier sides for about 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the AEK game, it was a Champions League game, but AEK was missing a ton of players. They couldn't even make Europa. It was in our stadium. It was like a done deal, and that we kind of limped across with a 1-0 win. Like it's just we've had wins, but there's things we should be winning no matter what. I think we should be winning them a lot more handsomely, and we're not. And I'm worried, man. I'm worried, and I'm proved wrong. I hope it's in a beautiful game this weekend in the Luge, and we win by like 6-0 or some obscene amount. And
Okay, Neil.
I know,
Neil?
I know.
Neil,
Oh
exactly.
my goodness.
I
Oh
know.
my goodness.
But seriously, that's where the hopes right now is where I sit with. There's nothing like I don't go into this game going, oh yeah, we should easily win.
You honestly believe that's what's going to happen? Like you've seen the
No,
team
I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm just saying that'd be like a hope and a dream. That'd be like the magical dream. The honest truth, and I hate saying this, I got a feeling I'll be shocked if we win. I will be. I hate saying that.
I'm riding the same boat. I mean, this team is lacking so much, all the way from defense to offense. There's just something there that's not clicking, and it hasn't been clicking. It don't look like it's going to be clicking. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried, man.
Or it's going to be a 1-0 win.
Foda-se, pô, caralho, calma. Você é assim, perdem o jogo, meu. Porra.
The next 15 games, 1-0.
You know what scares me the most about this game is that Braga have something to prove here.
They do, man. They have a chip on their shoulders.
Benfica at this point, because they all know they're just 4 points. See, this is something. Look, I'm not a professional football player, right? But I'm not stupid neither. If you're a player, you're sitting back like, yeah, we're winning, right? We're winning. That's all that matters to them. They don't really care how beautiful it looks. They get the result, right? We're winning. We're only 4 points back. That's it. But to a fan, 4 points back, and Braga's in second place. Like we're not even in third place. What are we? Fourth place. Was this 98? Is this 1998? This is ridiculous.
It might be.
Well, I gotta say the Braga guys are gonna come in fully fired up. I think they're on a morale high right now, and they're gonna come in with full.
And those guys are probably tired of hearing that they open their legs for Benfica.
Yeah, so they're gonna fight hard. Even if we go up 1-0, they know that they just got to keep grinding and working their ass off, and that we might buckle. Like there's something to be said about a team with that momentum going on, right?
So I want to read you guys a quick stat from Live Score. I opened up the table for the thing. At home, Benfica is in 6th place with 13 points. Away, Braga is third with 11.
Mhm.
You know, that's also something to say. It means they play a little bit better. Maybe they play a little bit better away than Benfica does at home. I don't know.
You know what? This game is more simple than just obscure stats, though, Dylan. Benfica's playing mediocre, and Braga's not. If you're a Benfica fan and you feel confident that Rui Vitória is going to put his best foot forward, great. You're a bigger Benfica fan than I am, because I am actually worried about this. And I'm gonna take this from the Benfica podcast. Shout out to Alfredo. I honestly think, and I agree with everything that they said, if he loses this game and Rui Vitória is the coach the next match, I'm not sure as a fan how I can. I'm not giving up on the team, but there's no way that I can go forward with any sort of confidence. That's what I'm gonna say. Confidence.
This is where the pressure. I've been saying this for quite some time now. Has to be
I
not
didn't
on
even think about that, though. I didn't even think that we'll give you to Braga, and if you don't win against Braga, you're done.
Yeah, but to me, the pressure shouldn't be on Rui Vitória. It should be on Luis Vieira. Like, I still don't like the fact that I see people out there chanting, "Oh, Rui Vitória out, Rui Vitória out. Oh, Luis Vieira is amazing. Don't say a bad word about him." Like that it's him. He's the one that makes this call. He's the one that can.
I don't know what light he saw at the Seychelles. I don't know what Mother Mary came. I don't know what virgin ass bitch fucked his ass or what he saw. But that motherfucker, it needs some more balls, man.
We can say what we want, but as members,
maybe it was still Braga. Maybe it was still Braga. You fuck up against Braga, that'll still give it a little bit of time to bring your coach in, sign a player, bring JJ out.
Anyways, it is what it is. We can spend here all night kind of debating all this.
That's the point, Mario. That is the point.
That is the point. But yeah, I gotta go to bed. Shishi kama.
Me too. Yeah, it's fucking late over here.
Shishi kama. That's happened. What would you guys say again? I'm gonna skip this edition of the flop of the match, player of the match, play of the match. What would the three of you say for today?
Jeff, hit us up with yours, man.
The best player I think was Alpha for me. Flop of the match, eh? Jeez.
Choris.
Oh, I got it. The other 10. No, I'm joking.
I could say maybe João Felix's miss in front of goal. That would probably be the shittiest play of the match.
Jesus.
But yeah, and I guess the play of the match was that exact same play where that Zivko laid that ball across.
Yeah, that was such
It went from the play of the match to the Choris of the match very quick.
In the same play.
In line.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
What about Alex?
I'm going to give, just to be different, I'm going to give the player of the match, Krovinovic. I think the guy, he's amazing on the ball. He's creative. It's easy to give it to Zivkovic, but I know that that's what Dylan's going to do, so I'm going to give it so I'm going to give it to Krovi. The shooting to the match is Gabriel. It has to be Gabriel, because even against a third-tier team like this, I still didn't know you were on the pitch until 10 minutes in. The play of the match, I agree with Jeff. It was the non-goal from João Felix. From Zivkovic to Felix, I don't get how he missed it, but it was definitely beautiful.
Yeah.
But soccer is not always about the goals. It's about the chances.
But you got to score them.
Yeah. It's fun. It's way funner.
My choice of the match, I'm gonna give it to who am I gonna give it to, bro? I'll give it to fucking Gabriel too. I'm lost as well, so fuck him. My player of the match goes to Alpha Semedo, not Zivkovic. I thought Alpha played a little bit better than Zivko. And my player of the match goes to Zivkovic. I still think he should be taking all our crosses. The goal, it went straight to Conte's head. Then again, Conte's a tall ass motherfucker, but yeah, it was a nice cross to his head. That's what I got. Mario, I know you don't got shit to say. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to say I saw the last 10 minutes, and I think those bumps in the grass when they zoomed in on those had more creative play than what you guys have told me throughout this game that happened today.
Yeah, that was.
And there's some more dynamic bounces of the ball coming off the pitch alone than our own team, which is kind of pathetic.
I honestly thought it was a Maritimo replay. I was like,
But the pitch looked like puzzle pieces, bro. It honestly looked like Eglinton and fucking Bathurst. It just looked horrible, man.
Good
Sorry,
old
that
Toronto
was
reference.
that was a Canadian reference there. Sorry, my bad, bro.
In other words, it was Compton, Alex. It was Compton.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Compton, you knew it.
Patchy. It's it looks like a lot of like good hopes, but pure shit when it's all said and done.
yeah.
Like they made an effort. They put like a couple of strips. Oh, João, we gotta put Navagras here. Oh, we only got like 6 strips. A little there.
And still in.
They always manage to get it done, though.
Yeah. Hey, these guys, they got some money. They made the Remax, probably paid them for some good money for their sponsor for that one game. I was like, fuck, if these guys come back and win it, that's going to be Remax's biggest bang for their buck right there. They probably paid like $10K for that sponsorship.
Yeah.
If they won, they would have been all over the papers in Portugal.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man. All right, guys, thank you so much. So many people joined in tonight.
Yeah, the people watch it. Holy fuck.
I
Dude.
love
There was
it.
like 30 shit, I
We got Wednesday
Y'all are some
night.
real ballers right now.
No, sometimes you need a shoulder to lean on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Wednesday night on a late evening. We got to make a note, man. You guys are all awake.
Yeah,
So many people tuned in. That's amazing.
Shout out to all you guys for real.
If any of you guys want to DM us or message us, BBQ Show Worldwide, we're still lining up a few more people. We got a ton of these lined up. It's just a matter of getting us together to film them. We got to get these done sooner or later. But yeah, thanks so much for joining. Anything else anyone has to say?
To the Sentan.
Let's win this weekend, man. Let's win this weekend.
Get that W.
Yeah.
We gotta get that W.
It'll be a good Christmas present. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Hey, thank you.